Okay, so let's take a bit of a deeper look at congruency statements, or statements that we can make that tell the reader that two shapes are actually the same. So let's first consider this triangle that we have here. So tell you what, let's make that a bit neater. Let's consider this triangle, A, B, C. Now, how are we going to make sure that this triangle is or is not the same as this triangle here, say X, Y, Z? Now, before we can go too far, we need to properly name them. So we're simply going to write triangle B, A, C, and also triangle Y, X, Z. Now, it is important to note that with these same statements, or these congruency statements, the letters correspond to the points in the same order. So for our first triangle there, B is the right angle. Here, Y is also the right angle. From there, we've gone straight up the long side out of the two that are connected to that, and we've ended up at A in this corner here. And then we've also ended up at X in this corner here. Finally, our last point, C and Z. It is important to state them in the right order. That way, the reader can tell that we are talking about the same angles and sides. From here, we can start to look at each side, and we start to develop an understanding of our very first congruency statement. That statement being side, side, side. Now, if we look at side C to B, we can see, so we're going to go line CB. We can see it's got 3 squares across, and so does line Z. So does line segment ZY. They both have 3 lines across. So we know we've got one congruent side. Okay, we're now going to look at line segment BA. So side BA. And we can see that that's actually 4 squares across. So BA, we just looked at that one in blue. And we've also got line YX is also, YX, that is also 4 across, which makes them the same. So we've got our second side that is the same. Finally, we're going to look at side A to C. And we're going to actually compare that one to the last side we have here, X and Y. So we've got line Z. And we can see actually that the distance from A to C, if we get a ruler out, and the distance from X to Z are also congruent. So green side is also the same. So what we can see here is, because we have all 3 of these sides being congruent, we know that triangle B, A, C is congruent, or is the same as triangle Y, X, Z. And the rule we've used for that is side, side, side. So when you do see our problems later on that ask about is this shape the same as the other? This is what you are going to end up writing.